Solid effort tonight on both ends. Crowd looks hype tonight. Better come with it.
There he is, man.
We were the top rookie last month and every month.
The National Basketball Association language or gestures. Spectators engaging in such behavior are subject to detection and possible arrest. Please report any violations to these rules to the nearest usher, security, or arena staff member.
And a peek into the locker room. Players soaking in the last few moments before the game. Some final preparations here. Welcome to 2K Sports. We have a Monday night of basketball for you with Hall of Famers Grant Hill. And certainly on paper, this game is something of a mismatch, Doris.
Yes, it is, but it's always dangerous when one team is expected to win by a large margin. Because why? Human nature. Can't skip steps. These are still professional basketball players. That underdog can be a real dog.
And checking out Brooklyn's opening lineup. Johnson and Claxton patrol the middle. DeAnthony Melton out there with Cameron Thomas. And it's Williams in at the three. Here's Jay. No good off the glass. Brooklyn with the ball. And here's Melton. Right now contributing around 10.5 points a game.
He almost brought the basket down on top of himself.
Oh, there's hang time, and then there's a time to hang. Jay, the pass to Vucevic. Here's Jay.
I love great defense. Just quick to establish his feet, and he takes the hit.
Well, the Nets are still feeling the ramifications of trading for James Harden, Doris.
Well, B.A., consider in that trade they gave away Jared Allen, Karis LeVert, and four first-round picks for a total of just 80 games played for James Harden. The reverberations are still being felt.
Back to White. Pass to Herter. Here's Jay. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket. First quarter of play with about a minute and a half gone by. Melton passes to Claxton. That's tipped. Here's Jay. Oh, and there's the whistle on the shot. So 2 free throws for him coming up. Chicago shooting their first free throws of the game now. No good on that one.
Number 8. 2 shots.
And no luck at the stripe this time. Second one won't fall. Brooklyn's gone 0 for 2 from outside. Williams with it. Now guarded by White. Thomas. And terrific work on the offensive glass as he picks up the deuce.
That's agility and touch. Cam Thomas gets that to fall inside.
And around 2 minutes played here in the first quarter. Here's Jay. And that misses. That would have put him up.
He didn't make them pay for that weak defense, but they just can't rely on him to miss those kind of shots.
The Bulls have gone 1 for 3 so far. Here's Buzelis.
Oh! Wow! Just good, aggressive play by Buzelis, not shying away from some physicality inside.
On the AT&T 5G Slam Cam, good looks by our terrific camera crew. Melton passes to Johnson. Williams against Herter. Melton outside. It's hauled in by the Bulls.
Boy, with his shot not falling right now, it might be time to look in a different direction. See if you can get your teammates started.
Here's Jay. And that one's long. The Nets have gone 2 for 7. A sluggish start.
And just wasn't able to set up in time.
Josh Giddey's checked in for Chicago. Johnson, he's checked in for Brooklyn. About 3 minutes gone here in the first quarter. And Claxton throws it down.
Well, Claxton could have an apartment up near the rim. These dunk attempts are routine.
Here's Jay. The rebound by Melton.
This has not been his best quarter.
And you know what? They keep calling his number, and they're simply trying to get him out of this funk.
Johnson finds Thomas. And Claxton throws it down.
B.A., when he gets the rim in his sights, it's tough to stop.
So aggressive and a determined finisher. Nice. To the left side wing. Here's Jay. Melton covers. Here's Jay. And he gets it to go. Now 2 of 6 in the game. 1:11 left to play in the first. Johnson passes to Johnson. Melton on the wing. He's off on the layup.
They've been just a little bit better on the glass so far, showing their tremendous work ethic.
There's 45 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Pass to Jay. Now Vucevic. 4 on the clock. Some solid defense from Claxton.
Boy, in that close, he's almost automatic. Boy, that's pretty good defense. Wow.
From deep, Melton. It's hauled in by White.
Oh, man, he can't get anything to fall. You can feel his frustration.
He is trying to shoot his way out of it, and it might be better for him to pass the basketball at this point.
Crafty finish by Giddey, managing to overcome the contest.
Here's Thomas. And again, it's the Nets missing. Unable to get the go-ahead bucket there. It's all tied in Chicago. And back in a moment as we'll get underway with quarter number 2. Here for Chicago. So Brooklyn going with almost an entire new group here. Nick Claxton, he's checked in for Sharp. Johnson comes in for Watford. Thomas, he's checked in for Martin. And it's Melton in for Johnson. On the floor for the Nets. Johnson and Claxton patrol the middle. Cam Thomas out there with DeAnthony Melton. And it's Williams in at the small forward position. Out to the wing. Here's Jay. Melton covers. The kick out to White. The Bulls need to get off a shot. Here's Jay. It's on target from the high post. Jay's got 6.
Well, coaches might discourage that kind of look, but he'll take it anyway.
Melton passes to Johnson. Back to Melton. It's Thomas on the wing. Fires the 3. That's his 3rd basket in 5 shots. Solid work.
We have watched Cam Thomas become more and more aggressive from three-point territory.
Well, you look at Cam Thomas, Grant. Do you think he has the potential to be a star in this league?
Well, you know, it's tough to say, B.A. He has a lot of talent, especially as a scorer. I think he has to keep evolving other parts of his game if he wants to become a full-fledged star.
And it's Jay missing. Brooklyn has gone 1 for 3 from downtown here in the second. Here's Melton. And off the front iron, and in it goes. Melton's got his 2nd basket of the game.
And they're trending in the right direction after a rough first quarter from the field.
And stolen by Melton. Thomas outside. Shoots over ball. And Thomas gets it to go on the assist from Melton. Melton's got 3 assists now in this one.
He's getting it done offensively, making winning plays at every turn.
6-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Jay, the pass to White. Here's Jay. Will it go? That shot off. Now here's Williams. Tight defense on him. Pass to Thomas. Johnson on the wing. Inside. 1 second left. And the first half comes to a conclusion in a game that's been very close so far. It's the Nets leading by 4. And will return shortly.
25.
And for that matchup with the Pacers, this will be a good challenge. If they could come in, play with intensity, and sustain that, they'll be right there at the end, Shaq.
Let's switch gears to the Chicago Bulls. They're in a tight one after the first half.
The bench has stepped up to where I could see a couple of those guys.
Thanks, as always, for watching.
And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during halftime. We've seen Cam Thomas really having a great game.
Through the first 2 quarters, he's been on fire. Explosive offensive performance.
Boy, he has been shouldering the load. Aggressive, skilled, talented, and thus far, unstoppable.
They've got Nikola Vucevic, Kevin Huerter out there with Buzelis. Then it's Kobe White, and it's Jay in at the point guard position. That's the group for Billy Donovan, getting going here in the second half. No good there, off the double clutch.
Not his best night, and not the team's best night. Sometimes it just goes that way.
Well, when you look at the forwards in this league, there are a lot more Grant Hill types out there these days, partner.
Well, thank you for the nice words, B.A. Of course, I took pride in my overall game. And over the last few decades or so, we've seen a bunch of guys playing the 3, 4, and 5 who can pass, dribble, and shoot. So it's fun to watch the game evolve.
Yep, that one goes. And if you're just joining us, we've played just over a minute here in the third. It's Thomas on the wing. Pass to Claxton. Back to Thomas. Six on the shot clock. Good work defensively by White.
Well, we love his ability to attack the rim. He just loses a little bit of focus and misses the chipping.
Now here's Huerter. Here's Jay. That misses. Had a chance to tie it.
Boy, as slow a start as you could have. Just 1 for 4 from the field. They're struggling.
Pass to Johnson. Outside, Williams. To the paint. Here's Melton. And it's flushed down. A nice jam.
Oh, what ferocity on the throwdown. I just love when he goes up with purpose.
Where was the D right there? The effort lacking big time.
Yeah, and give him credit for taking advantage. In a close game, those are the types of plays that can swing things in your direction.
Pass to Vucevic. Here's Jay. Melton covers. Here's Jay. That one falls. Coming off the Vucevic feed. Jay's got 10. The Nets with the lead. And Jordi Fernandez calls timeout. He's going to talk it over with his guys. For Brooklyn, Johnson. He's checked in for Thomas. Deciding to change it up. Brooklyn with the ball. Martin up top. Pass to Watford, and there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen.
One of the trickier plays to judge, but it would be hard to argue against the call.
It is really difficult to get your feet completely set, to stay completely still. It's almost surprising to me that it isn't called more often.
On the floor for the Nets. Sharp out there with Trendon Watford. Then there's Johnson, and it's Martin in at the 2. Here's Jay. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Back to White. From behind the arc. Gets the 3 ball to go. White's got his first 3 points of the game.
And they're shooting with much more confidence here in the second half. The field goal percentage is now over 50%.
Here's Johnson. And he got the whistle on the way up. So he'll be headed to the line for a pair. That one on Herder. All right, guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for the Bulls.
Their offensive game plan has been simple. Look to shoot it often from outside the arc. And the results have been outstanding.
They've also made a concerted effort to get the ball down low. Many of their points coming in that painted area tonight.
Here's Jay. Pass to Herder. Here's Jay. Rebounded by Johnson. Nets trail by 10. Martin outside. We've gone about a minute and a half into this fourth quarter. Johnson finds Sharp. And here's Watford. Outside Johnson. The Nets need to get off a shot here. Here's Wilson. And no good. His first shot of the night. Missing. Chicago leading by 10. Here's Jay. Last quarter of play, about 2 minutes in now. Yep, that one goes.
And the defense has no one to blame but themselves. I mean, they just let him get right to the rim.
To me, this has simply stated been a complete lack of defensive attention and focus all night long.
So Brooklyn ends up going with a new group. All right, let's get a report from Allie.
Well, over the break, I listened in on Jordi Fernandez's huddle. He said to them, "You guys look defeated out there. Wake up. This game is far from over, but I need you all to believe that. I need you to fight for one another right now."
Thank you for that, Allie. Johnson for 3. Sends it home from three-point land.
You can see no hesitation on the catch by Cam Johnson. This is why he's on the floor, folks.
Here's Jay. Softly drops in the floater.
Well, the touch and the focus. What a pretty move in the lane.
Takes a step back. Here's Thomas. Cash money from 16 feet away.
That mid-range is where Thomas may be his most effective and confident.
Here's Jay. He can't hit that time. Good D by Melton. Nets trail by 9. Thomas drives in. Shoots over White. Thomas misses. The Bulls have got 3 of 6 shots to go in this fourth quarter. Here's Jay. Nails the baby hook. Jay's got 10 points here in the second half.
Well, you see, the ability to get the ball where it needs to go is what really stands out regarding Buzelis.
Here's Thomas. Chicago with a rebound. Down low. Out of bounds. It'll be Brooklyn's ball. Here in the fourth quarter, just under 2.5 gone by. Good work defensively by White. Bulls leading by 11. Here's Jay. Claxton with a rebound. Claxton's got 5 rebounds in the game. Thomas drives in. Nice D from Vucevic. For Chicago, they've got 4 of 8 shots to drop here in this final quarter.
And the clock will wind down on this one. Just a solid effort and a good win for the Bulls.
They had excellent production from the bench.
This team has strong depth, and in this game, it showed.
And this will get marked down as their 16th win of the year.
And with just one game left to play between them, they've captured the first 2 meetings of the year.
Thomas, that's good. 40 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Pass to White. Here's Jay. Back to White. Here's Jay. Melton covers. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Jay. Claxton with a rebound. And here's Thomas from the arc. Here's Jay. And again, no good by Chicago. And so Chicago takes the win. A competitive game. You have to feel like this crowd gave him a little extra edge.
Yeah, they really fed off the energy. You saw their activity level go up. Just a tremendous performance.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Doris Burke, Allie LaForce, and Grant Hill, and our...
Great win tonight, MP.
Son, you win so many games, I'm running out of things to say. I hate the Spurs. Make sure you win tonight, or it's a long flight home.
The other team's already worried about stopping you, MP. Over here.
The National Basketball Association and the San Antonio Spurs are committed to a safe and enjoyable sports experience. We will ask you to refrain from unpredictable behavior such as fighting, throwing objects, attempting to enter the court or interrupt play, or using improper language or gestures. Spectators engaging in such behavior are subject to ejection and possible arrest. Please report any violations of these rules to the nearest usher.
MP, what's up?
Chilling, man, chilling. Yo, you want to do a jersey swap after the game?
I don't know, man. I don't do that too much.
Oh, come on, man. It'll be fun. I know. You want to hang my jersey up in your trophy room?
You know what? If you win, I'll think about it. You sure about that?
Yeah, I'm sure. You ready?
If you say so. Good luck, bro.
Welcome to this Thursday night in the NBA, right here on 2K Sports. Alongside Greg Anthony, Coach Stan Van Gundy, and our reporter, the Hall of Famer David Aldridge, I'm Kevin Harlan. And tonight, we'll be joined by the man with his finger on the pulse of the NBA, no one better than Shams Charania. Shams, it is so great to have you courtside with us.
Well, Kevin, thank you so much. Talking basketball is what and honestly, we were born to do, so let's do it.
And look at the guys by our side, man. We all love this game. Let's go right into it. Let's check out Chicago's starting lineup. Bruzelis out there with Vucevic. Then there's Jay. Then it's Dosunmu. And it's White in at the 2. And despite having a generational talent in Wembanyama, Shams, the Spurs never skipping steps. They've got great detail to everything they do.
The Spurs draft and develop. That has been their calling card. San Antonio may not be a big free agent destination or magnet, but who knows? With Victor Wembanyama there, they are going to have the ability to attract players and potentially go after players in trades. They have a ton of capital assets, draft picks that they can trade. And Victor Wembanyama has the ability to be a generational star, like you said, Kevin. And players will eventually want to be there.
Quickly, can you even go back to a time when they've added Wembanyama, they've added Lively in Dallas, the Thunder's Chet Holmgren, what he did as a rookie? These young bigs have been sensational to watch. The size that the league has added has been off the charts.
And the center position might just be back, but let's look at that 2023 NBA draft. Let's revisit that in 5 to 6 years. That could be a draft that eventually will be regarded among the very best.
Chicago with the ball after the basket by San Antonio. In the corner, it's Buzelis. And out of bounds as San Antonio gains possession. And with the new broadcasting deals, NBA salaries figuring Shams to skyrocket.
And we're not even just talking about the players, Kevin. It's the coaches. It's the front office executives. Everyone is seeing some massive, massive paydays. Every single year we're seeing the biggest contract in league history, and it's only going to get bigger and bigger in years to come.
Are you surprised at the size of some of these coaching deals? I mean, the numbers are amazing to me.
Coaching, these front office deals, it's getting higher and higher. And once Monty Williams signed the deal he did in 2023, that only elevated the market for coaches, and front office executives also are getting big paydays.
Nice work inside from the smaller Fox. So cunning and crafty around the rim.
Jay, the pass to Vucevic. Bulls moving the ball around and taken away by Paul. And the dunk by Sohan.
Jeremy Sohan, an emphatic 2 points.
And Billy Donovan decides to call timeout. Wants to regroup and go over the strategy. Well, the latest CBA introducing the second apron, limiting Shams what teams above the cap can do. How does that new rule affect teams?
Decision makers tell me that they're very much keeping an eye on the second apron, not only of their team, but others, and teams that will have to shed salary because of the second apron and the amount of big contracts we're going to see teams give to players. You're going to see it at the top, but that may dwindle in the middle of their roster. But we will see a more competitive league because of these new CBA changes, and less of a chance of super teams and just more parity and dispersed talent.
Do you constantly read over some of these CBA agreements? Hey, Shams, I know you cover the league like no one else, but I've seen your jump shot. You have a sweet J. You must have played organized ball, I'm assuming.
I played a little bit in high school, Kevin, but once I got cut in high school, that's when I knew my career path would have to trend into what I'm doing now, into writing and covering the NBA. But listen, I have a lot of confidence in my jump shot, watching players like Steph Curry shoot the basketball. I'm not trying to give any comparisons, but I do love to shoot the ball. That is the one thing I know I can do decently on.
I know. I love your answer.
Not much else, but I can shoot.
So for Chicago right now, Vucevic is out there with Buzelis. And it's Kobe White. Then it's Josh Giddey. And it's Jay in at the one.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
And the rejection by Wembanyama. Here's McLaughlin. The kick out to Barnes. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. On the wing, Giddey. And in last year's playoff, Shams, we did see a lot of players injured and unable to play. What are some of the solutions that may be being talked about that you hear about?
People certainly ask if this is a result of the 65-game rule. Is it the more physical play? Is it the consequences of the regular season? The league is going to take a wait-and-see approach to determine if this is an issue they have to fix, but they do love the results of what this has brought as far as player availability moving forward.
Yeah, they do seem sold on that 65 number, don't they?
100%. And at the end of the day, some of these injuries are flukish. There's a lot of, obviously, lower body injuries, and you can't measure that. I think the league is going to want to see more data over the next 5 to 10 years to really determine, does this rule impact the game and impact injuries?
And the latest now from our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David, it's all yours. Take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. You asked Greg Popovich about Victor Wembanyama, and he says Victor's a different player. He's got talents, and you don't want to take that out of him. I tried to do that with Manu Ginobili, and I learned my lesson. Just shut up and let him play. Victor does some amazing things. His game is all-encompassing. Kevin?
That's a great way to put it, D.A. It is all-encompassing. Wembanyama is one of one. Hey, thank you for the report. And timeout is called by Greg Popovich. He wants a minute here to get things straightened out with his team. So both teams changing it up here. Group here courtside. You've got 2 phones working, and I'm sure there's a third hidden in your bag. Can you estimate how many texts do you send and receive a day? Is there even a number we can put with that?
Kevin, how many texts do you get a day related to NBA info? You're coming at me. You know the job is, it's hundreds of messages flooding my phone on a daily basis, and the screen time usually in busy seasons tends to be closer to 18 to 20 hours, but this is what we...
Well, right now for the Spurs, I had them as a top team before the season, and now I'm picking them to make the finals. Tell me I'm wrong, Kenny. You can't, because I'm right. 2 plus 2 is 5.
And as much as it pains me, I have to agree with you.
And now taking a look at that first half action, it was a less than ideal start for the Chicago Bulls. Thank you for being with us.
And that'll do it for the first half. A competitive game so far. It's the Spurs. They finish off the second quarter with a tremendous 17-5 run. Stay with us, folks. We'll get back just after halftime to start the third quarter. We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. You have to like what you're seeing, guys, from Josh Giddey.
Man, he's been running wild on him through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
Yeah, and in terms of slowing him down, I think they're going to have to change things up. Give him some different looks.
Sohan is the 4 with the lengthy Wembanyama playing the 5. Chris Paul is out there with Fox, and it's Vassell in at the 3 spot. That's the San Antonio 5. He doesn't get the second one. Spurs leading by 5. It's stolen by Vucevic. Here's Jay, and he banks in the layup. And it's 6 points for Jay.
Well, because he's a good scorer, White attracts attention, and that creates passing.
Ball outside. Now, here's Vassell. He's covered closely.
Oh, this is exactly the kind of opportunity you don't want to waste.
Here's Jay. Makes it off the glass. Jay's got 8 points.
Terrific play call to give him a clean look at the rim. That's how you want to start the second half.
Yeah, I like how they're establishing their interior presence right away. That's going to collapse the defense and create other opportunities.
Wembanyama passes to Paul. Yes, that goes in. Paul's got his second bucket of the night.
A master at finding angles to finish. Chris Paul uses quickness to his advantage.
Jay, the pass to Dosunmu. For the tie, sinks the three-pointer. Buzelis has got the game tied up here for Chicago.
Yeah, showing off that ability to stretch the floor. Seems like everyone is a threat at the arc these days.
And that one drops for him.
And easy to appreciate Paul. The way he handles the ball is remarkable.
Jay, the pass to Vucevic. For the lead. And the Bulls another 3.
You know, they've hit the ground running to begin this second half. 4 for 5 so far.
Outside, Fox. Back to Paul. Spurs passing it around. To the right side. Here's Wembanyama for 3. And the 3 ball is good. Wembanyama's got his 3rd basket of the night. Bulls have gotten 4 of their first 5 second-half shots to fall. 80% since the break. Pass to Buzelis. Whoops, anticipated the pass. Turnover. That's good from Paul on the assist by Fox. Fox has got 3 assists now in this one. Bulls trail by 4. Clock keeps going. 3 minutes into the second half now. And they are really racking up the assists in this one.
And their team chemistry is evident. These guys enjoy playing with one another. Oh, inflicting some punishment with the 2-hand flush.
They're going for the throat. Johnson's checked in for Vassell. And a look at the recent power rankings. Some interesting stories here in the early part of December. You take a look at the Spurs. They're still dominant, sitting at number. And so it's Giddey with it. He brings it up for the Bulls. Next up will be a home game matched up against the Pacers. That'll be the first of 2 straight at home. Taking a look at the Bulls. Jay out there with Josh Giddey. And it's Vucevic. Then it's Buzelis. And it's White in at the small forward. San Antonio leading. Johnson surveying the floor. Here's Wembanyama. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2.
A generational talent for Wembanyama. The sky is the limit and the reality.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
We expect nothing less. He's generally been very good at the line.
Here's Jay. Basket good.
And you want him taking big shots for you in big moments. That one was as easy as it gets.
Well, with him, he's dangerous because he's so confident. He wants to deliver in these moments.
And offensively, they seem to have turned a corner.
Here's Jay, and the layup's good off the glass.
What a difference a half can make. As much as he struggled in the first 2 quarters, he certainly made up for it with his play in the second half.
A little over a minute of the 4th quarter gone right now. Vucevic against Wembanyama. And Wembanyama too much inside.
And this is what you want to see. Wembanyama attacking with authority inside.
Pass to Buzelis. Here's Jay. And stolen by Barnes. And here we go. Fast break. Barnes has got it. And Jay gets the whistle that time. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. And timeout is called by Greg Popovich. He's very aware of the timing here and the significance of getting things squared away with his team. So both teams making some changes here. And let's head over to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
During that break, Greg Popovich really had some strong advice for his team. He demanded something of his guys. He said, I'm not satisfied yet, are you? You've worked hard, but we need to keep piling it on. Don't give them any hope, guys.
Okay, David, much appreciated. Bulls trail by 4. Vassell grabs the board. Inside, here's Sochan. And the dunk by Sochan.
Well, since coming into the league, Vassell has shown a lot of growth as a passer.
Here's Jay, defended by Paul. Lays it up off the glass. Jay's got 10 points in just the second half.
And how about the grit and determination in the post? I mean, essential qualities to have late in a close game.
Here's Sochan. Wembanyama, a screen. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And it's Sochan missing. Bulls trail by 4. Dosunmu, the pass to Jay. And no good that time. Good defense by Wembanyama. Paul with the ball. Now guarded by Jay. The offensive rebound. Second chance shot. Wembanyama with that soft touch around the rim.
You have to be aware of Wembanyama on the boards. Really keep a body on it.
Dosunmu, the pass to Jay. Latrey. Rebound by Sochan. Sochan's got his 4th rebound in this one. To the middle. And the dunk by Sochan.
Putting that pass right in his stride. Didn't have to slow up and was able to complete the play.
Here's Jay, defended by Paul. Pass to Buzelis. Here's Jay. Jacks up a 3. Rebounded by the Spurs. Wembanyama's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Paul with the ball. Now guarded by Jay. Here's Fox. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. 56 seconds left in the game. Shot is good, and the Spurs lead is cut to just 5 on the basket from Vucevic.
Big Vooch with a big bucket. That is clutch.
To the left wing. And that's an intentional foul.
Second personal foul. Third team foul.
There's 42 seconds left in the 4th quarter.
They're in total command of this game with time starting to run out.
Yeah, and at this point, the focus is take care of the ball, no needless fouls, and no threes.
And it's Vassell in the corner. Oh, good with the triple.
It's just too big a deficit to come back from at this point.
Well, you want your players to keep playing hard, but let's be honest. This game's over. And what a night he's having on the glass, putting in the work to help his team close out possessions.
And so it's San Antonio with the win. Probably a little closer than they would have liked it, but a win nonetheless.
Yeah, but I really got a sense that the fans gave him that emotional boost that was needed down the stretch.
Couldn't back up all that talk, could you?
Yeah, you got me this time, Vic, but I'm never stopping.
You better keep working then.
All right.
Even the best teams lose at least 10 games a year.